Friends say hacking his Facebook account. Anahita Sedaghatfar, criminal defense attorney. How can the defense argue self-defense when she was stalking him allegedly leading up to this killing?
You know, I certainly do not envy the task of the defense attorneys here. Clearly, they have an uphill battle. But, Jane, you and I have seen time and time again that there is no such a thing as a slam dunk case. We've seen this in many high-profile cases. We saw this in the O.J. case, Michael Jackson case, recently in the Casey Anthony case. And quite frankly, the defense is doing exactly what they need to be doing to prove that this was not a premeditated first-degree murder case. First, there's the issue of the gun. The prosecution has not presented any evidence showing their theory that this defendant stole the gun, brought the gun to the victim's house with the intent to kill him on that day. And first, they haven't proven that. Second, the manner of killing is something that they are going to focus on. The defense is going to focus on the fact that if she clearly planned and plotted this murder, she could have just walked in and shot him. They argue
maybe she wanted to have sex with him first before she shot him. Joey Jackson, I can hear you almost shaking your head. What do you make of this argument that, self-defense is a viable argument here?
Well, here's the problem, Jane. The problem is that her conduct thereafter is completely inconsistent, not only with that defense, but with human nature. Not everyone acts the same, that's true, but there are certain standards that we come to expect. If someone attacks you, Jane, what do you do after you engage in that behavior? You call the police. What else might you do? You certainly wouldn't go to someone's home in an effort to fondle them and have relations with them. That's not on your mind. You wouldn't speak to a detective and you wouldn't say, oh, really, my goodness, this is how I reacted when I first knew. So there's certain things and there's certain behavior which are completely inconsistent from a person who was attacked, and that's the bigger problem here, Jane.
Anahita, your chance to respond.
Right, but who is going to make that allegation? The defense is going to call their own mental health expert, a domestic violence expert, a battered woman expert, and that witness is going to testify that there is no typical behavior of women like this. And we saw this also in the Casey Anthony case, that people act in certain ways, abused women, women that are victims of domestic violence. And sadly, this is part of the defense strategy, is that because they are claiming self-defense, they are to a certain extent going to have to put the victim on trial here.
Now,
and that is
Beth
exactly
Harris,
what the defense is doing.
In-session correspondent, you've been in the courtroom. Anahita Sedaghatfar, criminal defense attorney, your final thought on her defense?
My thoughts are that this is not a whodunit. We already know that she committed this crime. The issue really is going to be self-defense. And to be honest with you, I think the strongest thing she has going for her is her appearance. She is an attractive, young, petite, seemingly demure young lady, and the defense is hoping that at least one of the jurors will have sympathy for her and spare her her life.
Joey Jackson, 20 seconds.